Hello everyone. Welcome to another lecture on reasoning ability and problem solving. In today's lecture, we will discuss some previous year questions for non-verbal reasoning based on diagrams. So this is question number 1. This is a question of series completion. Okay? Now, ARKL, RALK, RALK and RALK. So 4 elements are there which are A, R, K and L, and they are moving in a certain way, and we have to identify what will come in this particular series. Now if I look at A, I can see from here it went down here, so it moved one position down, then again it moved one position down, and then it moved one position towards the right. So it is going in this direction. This is which direction? This is anti-clockwise direction. A is moving in anti-clockwise direction. So normally A will come over here logically. This eliminates option number 4. This is which approach? This is elimination approach. Okay. Now let us look at R. R is moving from here to here. Similarly here and here. So R is again moving like this. This is which direction? This is your anti-clockwise direction. So R is also moving in anti-clockwise direction. So R will come in which position? R will come over here. Okay. Now let us look at L. L is moving from this to this to this. So one position up, then one position up, then here. So L is moving like this. Again, which direction? This is your anti-clockwise direction. L is also moving in anti-clockwise direction. So after this, L will come where? L will come over here. This eliminates option number 3 and option number 1. So our correct answer will be option number 2. Clear? Now let us confirm it with K. K is moving from here to here, then here, then here. So K is also moving like this. Correct? Anti-clockwise. So after this, K will come in which position? K will come over here. So this will look like this, L, K and R, A. So option number 2 is correct. Okay. Now this is a embedded figure question. Rotation is not allowed. What do you mean by rotation is not allowed? Rotation means that if my diagram is like this, it should look exactly like this in all the cases. It cannot look like this. This is not allowed. Rotation is not allowed. It has to look exactly like this. So let us check. Over here, I can see this. Right? Over here, I can see this. But this is closed. So option number 4 is eliminated. Over here, this was open. This is not, but over here, this is closed. So this option is eliminated. Now, over here, I can see that no such image is possible. So option 2 is eliminated. Over here, again, this is slanting. But over here, we have straight. So option 1 is also eliminated. Now, in option number 2. Option number 2, I can see this. Correct? And this is open. So in option number 3, I can see this figure being embedded. But now you will say that, ma'am, this is closed. So how is this true? Over here we have an opening, but this is closed. So if I start my line from here, if I take just this portion, does it resemble this or not? Yes, it does. Over here, even if I take just this much portion, okay, it had a closing, whereas this is open. We could have extra things over here. But this area, if it is open in the figure, it should be open. Hence, option 3 is the correct answer. Okay? Now, question number 3. This is a logical grid or a matrix-based question. Here, I can see a very simple logic being followed. If I add 7 and 6 together, I will get 13. So, if this is A, this is B and this is C, logical grid can be solved either horizontally or they can be solved vertically. Correct? And over here, if you look at row 1, I can see these numbers, column 2 numbers are significantly bigger than the other numbers. So certain operations are being carried on column number 1 and column number 3 to get column number 2. We have discussed this. So now I see that if I add A and C, I get my B. This is the logic. So let us check for row 1. Row 1, it will be 7 plus 6 will give me 13. Similarly, in row 2, 4 plus 18 will give me 22. Correct? So row 3 also, 15 plus 7 will be how much? It will be 22. So it will give me 22. So option number 1, 22 will be my answer. Clear? Very simple question on matrix based question. Now, question number 4. This is a Venn diagram based question. This particular Venn diagram represents artists in a circus. Okay, so these are all artists that work in a circus. The triangle represents clowns. So this triangle is clowns. Okay. Then the circle represents acrobat. So the circle means they are all acrobats. The rectangle represents male. So rectangle means they are all male. Square means ringmasters. So square is this one. It means they are all ringmaster. Okay. The number in the diagram represents the number of people in that category. We have to find out how many male clowns that are also ringmaster but not acrobats. So 3 things we have to see. It should be male, plus it should be a clown. Okay. Plus it should also be a ringmaster. So that means 3 figures have to overlap. Which figures? Male is rectangle, plus clown is triangle, and then we have ringmaster. Ringmaster is what? Ringmaster is a square. So these 3 figures have to overlap. So if I look at this image, I can see this particular area. This particular area we have a triangle. This particular is also a part of the square, and this particular area is also a part of the rectangle. So this particular area represents the male clowns who are ringmasters, but they are not acrobats, because acrobats means they are not part of the circle. So the number in this area is 17. So answer will be option number 1, 17. Clear? Now, this is a question of water image or mirror image. Okay. In water and mirror image, we take care of where is the position of the mirror. So over here, the mirror is positioned over here. So in the inverted image that we'll get the same square. These lines will be the same. Now this is empty, so this will be empty, and over here we'll have a cross. Similarly, if this is filled, this will be here, and over here we'll have a cross. So our image will look certainly like this. And this is given in which option? This is given in option number 2. So option number 2 will be the correct answer to this question. Now, question number 6. This is a dice and cube question. Dice and cube question. So this is the same dice. This dice has certain letters and numbers. So up till now we discussed dice that either had symbol or dice that either had numbers. Now this particular dice has both numbers and alphabets. So 3 different positions of this dice are given, and we have to find the one which is opposite to the letter U. Now there was 2 concepts. Concept number was adjacent, and second, opposite. So if it is adjacent, it cannot be opposite, and if it is opposite, it cannot be adjacent. This was the only thing. So now I can see A, I can see E, I can see I can see O, I can see U, and I can see 9. A dice or a cube has 6 sides, so 6 letters are already there. Now we have to find the one that is opposite to U. So opposite to U means over here I and 9 are what? They are adjacent to U, so they cannot be opposite to U. Correct? Now, if I look at U, over here we have A, E and I. So I has 2 adjacent things. They have E, A and E as adjacent. So if I has 2 adjacent things, either A will be here or E will be here. Correct? Now, E has two adjacent things, that is 9 and O. So if 9 is adjacent to E, E will be here and A will be here, and the other letter that 9 is adjacent to, that is O, will be over here. Correct? So if O is over here, E is over here and A is over here, the opposite to U will be E. How? Because I will be opposite to O, 9 will be opposite to A, so U will be opposite to E. And this is given in option number 2. So option number 2 will be the correct answer. Okay? Now, question number 7, logical grid or matrix based question. Over here I can see that these numbers, the numbers in row 3 are significantly bigger than the numbers given in row 1 and row 2. So I am assuming we have vertical operations. Certain operations are being carried on these two rows to get the third row. So let me give them A, B and C. Now, if I multiply A, B and divide it by 4, I get C. This is the logic that is being used in this matrix. Let us check for, this is column 1, column 2 and column 3. So for column 1, 28 into 36 divided by 4. So this will be how much? This will be 9. So 28 into 9 will give me how much? 252. Correct? Column 1, correct? Let us check for column 2. Column 2, 30 into 32 divided by 4. So this will be 8. Correct? If this is 8, 30 into 8, this will be 240. So this is correct for column number 2 as well. Now for column number 3, I have to check. So for column number 3, it will be 36 into 18 divided by 4. So this will be 9. And 9 into 18 will give me how much? It will give me 162. So 162 will be my answer, which is given in option number 4. So option number 4 will be the correct answer to this question. Question number 8 is of paper folding and cutting. Over here, we had to take care of the stuff, that how the paper is being folded, the direction of the paper, and how the incisions are made. Two things we had to remember. Over here we have a rectangle. The first, we folded the paper in this direction and then we folded the paper in this direction. Now notice one thing, that the amount of paper that has been folded is very less. So only this much paper is folded and then only this much paper is folded. So whatever incisions are made over here will come only over here. This incision will not come over here, because if you look at the paper, if only this much paper is folded, it will end over here. This and this will be equal. So if certain incisions are made over here, will they appear over here? No, they will not appear over here. So that is why I told you, whenever you get a paper folding and cutting, two things you have to remember. First is the direction of the paper being folded. You also look at how the paper is being folded. So over here I can see that only tiny amounts of paper is being folded, not the entire paper. So this is not being folded in half. Second thing is incisions, where the cuts are made. So over here, if cut is made over here, it will not come over here. Why? Because this paper is not folded into half. So this you have to remember whenever you get a question on paper folding and cutting. Very important. Now, if this much portion will not come anywhere because this much paper is not folded. So if I make an incision over here, it will come over here. Similarly, only this much paper is folded now. Over here, you can see. So when I open this paper, this incision will not come. Only these two incisions will come. So over here, we'll have something like this. So this will be the correct way the paper will look like when the paper is unfolded. And this is given in option number 4. So option number 4 will be your correct answer. Clear? Now, question number 9, again a question of Venn diagram. So in Venn diagram, we are given 3 circles over here. This represents the number of families who have visited 3 different places. So Srinagar, Shimla and Gangtok. These are the number of families. We have to find the number of families who have visited at least 2 places out of the Srinagar, Shimla and Gangtok. So at least 2 means either 2 or 3 places. At least means at least 2, but we have to find the number which has also visited 3 places. So if you look at this diagram, the number of people who have visited 2 places is represented by here. So this means they have visited Srinagar and Gangtok, which is 7. This means they have visited Srinagar and Shimla, which is 22. Similarly, this means they have visited Shimla and Gangtok, which is 5. So this will be 12. 22 plus 12 will give me 434. Now, at least 2. So this is at least 2, but we have to look at the families which have visited all 3 places as well. So this number represents the number of people that have visited all the 3 places. So plus 15. So this will give me 49, and your correct answer will be option number 4, 49. So you understood what kind of mistake you could make in the exam. So at least 2 means that 2, but also the number of people who have visited 3 places. If the question was that find the number of families who have visited 2 places, only 2 places, then 34 would have been the correct answer. But it asked at least 2. At least 2 means 3. Now, if the question asked at most 2, so at most 2 means people who have visited 1 place and people who have visited 2 places. So you have to pay attention to the word at most, at least or only. This makes a difference. So these words have to be carefully seen. So correct answer will be option number 149. Now, question number 10. Question number 10 is a embedded figure question. Embedded figure, we have to find out this figure is embedded in which of the following figures. So over here I can see this, but there is no line because rotation is not allowed. If rotation was allowed, I could see a line like this, but rotation is not allowed, so option number 1 is eliminated. Over here again I could not see anything like this, so option number 2 is also eliminated. Now here I can see this going like this, but then it should come back like this over here. This I cannot see, there is no line to come back. So option number 3 is also eliminated. Now let us check for option number 4. So option number 4, this goes like this, then like this, and then comes back like this. So in option number 4, I can see this figure being embedded. So correct answer will be option number 4. Now, question number 11. Question number 11 is a counting figure question. I have told you these type of questions can be tricky, so try to attempt them in the end. Now let me give them certain numbers for you to understand. So if this is A, this is B, this is C, D, then let us say this is E, F, G, H, I, this point is J and this point is K and this point is L. Okay, so just random numbers. Now let us look at how many triangles can we form. So now when I look at this, I can see one big triangle, ACB. Okay, this is one big triangle, so ACB. Similarly, another big triangle is this CDB. So this is another big triangle, BCD. Now I can see this small triangle, ECL. Similarly, I can see this one, GCK. And similarly, I can see this small one over here, which is BJI. Here I can see this one, which is BKH. Then I can see this one, which is ECF. Then I can see this one. This is a big triangle. This is GIH. Similarly, I can see this one, GJK. Then I can see this one, this we have not counted, CLF. And I can see this one, CGJ. This I have not counted yet. So CGJ. Now let me repeat. Okay. So I can see this one, these big ones. This is ACB and BCD, correct? Then I saw this one, ECL. Then I saw EJK, correct? Or GCK, you can give them any name. Then I saw this one, EJG, which is over here, CJG. Then over here, if you look at this one, I saw BIJ over here. Then I saw BKH. Then I saw this one, that is ECF, this one. Then I saw which one? GIH. This is a very big triangle. And within this triangle, we have GJK also. Then we saw this one, CLF, correct? And all the triangles, these were all the triangles that we formed. So how many triangles are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So in total, I saw 11 triangles. So answer will be option number 1, 11. So this is how you solve questions for counting figures. But then again, this can be tricky. So I have advised you to keep them in the last, because this can take a little bit of time. And the options are also very close. Options are 10 and 12. So if you miss one triangle, or if you count one triangle twice, either of this can happen, your answer will be wrong and you will get minus 1/4 number. And we don't want this. So it is better to skip these questions or keep them for the last. Okay. Now, question number 12. This is a mirror and water image question. Okay. So mirror and water image, this is the mirror. So I'll get a square like this. Within this, this will be same. Now I will get a inverted image. Correct? I'll get a inverted image. So inverted image, triangle will be here, circle will be here, this will be here, and this will be here, like this. So this will be my inverted image. Correct? And this looks similar to option number 3. So option number 3 will be the correct answer. Okay. In this option, we have a line missing. In this option, this should be interchanged. In this particular option, this triangle is a little off. The direction is a little off. So option number 3 will be your correct answer. Okay. Now, question number 13. This is dice and cube. Dice and cube. In dice and cube, I have told you there are two concepts. Either the numbers are adjacent to each other or the numbers are opposite to each other. Now, this is a very interesting question. These are the two concepts, right? So we have 3 different positions of the same dice and we have to find the one that will face opposite to this one. @ sign. Symbols are given. So I have told you we have @ this, then we have this sign, and we have which sign is missing? This sign. So these are the 6 signs that is given to us. So either if it is adjacent, it cannot be opposite. If it is opposite, it cannot be adjacent. Now over here, I can see @ this sign and this sign are adjacent to it. So we have to find opposite to this. We can eliminate these 2 signs. Then over here, again, this side, this sign and this sign are adjacent. So I can eliminate this sign and this sign is already eliminated. Now over here we are left with 2 options. That is this or this. And is adjacent to hashtag or this sign. So hashtag or this sign can be here. Similarly, this sign or hashtag can be here. We don't have a definite answer. So whenever you are stuck somewhere like this, where you do not have a definite answer, we use a concept of going clockwise. Going clockwise with common element. This is a concept that we use. We go clockwise with common element. What do you mean by that? So here, if you look at figure number 2 and figure number 3, which is the common element? This one. So I'll write this as my common element. Now I'll go clockwise. Clockwise is just which direction? This is how you move clockwise, correct? With direction of the clock. So if I go clockwise, the next element will be this and the next element will be this. Similarly, if I go clockwise, the next element will be this and the next element will be this. So this is how I'm going clockwise. So when you get clockwise, these two numbers or these two symbols will be opposite facing. Okay. So @ and hashtag. The opposite facing one will be hashtag, which is option number 4. So this was a new concept, which is going clockwise. So whenever you're stuck into a dilemma like this, we were stuck. We didn't know which will come next. So in that case, we will use the concept of going clockwise. And if you go clockwise, you know the opposite to @ sign will be hashtag, which is option number 4. Okay. Question number 14, it is a matrix based question or a logical grid question. So here I can see very clearly row 2, these numbers are big. So probably something is being done in row 1 and row 3 to get row 2. Okay. Now let me call them A, B, C. I am checking for column 1, column 2 and column 3. So in column number 1, if I square 7 and add 4 into it, 7 square will give me what? 49. And adding 4 into it will give me 53. So this logic is correct for column number 1. What is the logic? We are basically squaring 1, adding C into it to get B. This is the logic. Okay, this is the logic. This is for column number 1. So column number 2, if I do the same logic, it will be 11 square plus 6. 11 square is how much? 121. And if I add 6 into it, I'll get 127. Correct? Now, column number 3. In column number 3, it will be 14 square plus 3. So 14 square is 196. And if I add 3 into it, I'll get 199. So 199 will be my answer, which is given in option number 4. Clear? So this is how you solve question on matrix. Now, question number 15, this is again a paper folding and cutting question. So over here, the paper was folded into half in this direction, then again half in this direction. So whatever comes here, when I open it, it will be here inverted. So here we'll have this, this, this and this. There is no inversion. Then I'll open this. That means again we will have this and again we will have this. So I'll get something like this, and this is given in option number 3. So option number 3 will be a correct answer. This was a very easy question on paper folding and cutting. So 2 things to remember. Number 1, how the paper is folded, how much the paper is folded, and second is the incisions, because the incisions will be inverted. So this concludes today's lecture. Thank you.